Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today with a Holy Grails from every category. Or if I could only have one, it's my top of every category. And I think I did this a little under a year ago. So I went through what I did last time, and I'm going to link that video down below so you can see a lot has already changed in under a year. So, things are just constantly evolving and changing. And so anyway, I'm going to jump right into this and I'm going to tell you the one that I picked last time and what I picked this time. I'm going to start with primer. And last time I picked the Smashbox Primer Water and the Flower Beauty Perfecting Primer that's over here. I picked both of those, but that has changed. And this time I would pick the Cover FX Gripping Primer. I love this, and this allows me to only pick one because this is blurring, it's gripping, and it actually makes my makeup last longer. There are not a lot of products, setting sprays or primers that I can tell you, I think that makes my makeup actually last longer. This makes makeup go on prettier, it blurs, I think it blurs, and I think it actually makes my makeup last longer and stay pretty longer. Fresher, longer. I love my Cover FX Gripping Primer. Okay, next, a setting spray. Last time I picked the MAC Fix Plus. And I love this. This is so nice for taking down that powder look. Just like the primers though, I don't think that this really makes my makeup last longer. It does take the powder look down beautifully. But if I'm picking one, I'm going to pick the Urban Decay All Nighter. I have replaced this with a big one in the last couple of months because this definitely, I use this every day on my under eyes with my concealer, and this does make makeup last longer. Every time I spray this on my whole face, which is rare, I don't usually feel like I need it. I usually don't need my makeup to last that much longer. But when I do think this makes my makeup last longer. I think it actually works. And it takes the powder look down. So if I'm picking one, I'm picking this. But I'm glad I don't really have to because I love my MAC and I want to keep it. But this is my, if I can only have one. Okay, next for color corrector. That has changed. Last time I picked the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish or Magic Away. This was great, y'all. And it's empty, and I used it all, and this was so good. And I wondered, I thought, well, I probably will replace that. I will not, because when I finished this up, I got out my Age Rewind Brightener. I like this better. This is my top number one. Since I have gotten this back out, look at that. My dark circles barely show, and I was struggling. So I thought I loved this, really loved this, but when I got this back out, I was like, wow, this one is head and shoulders above this one for me. So I won't replace this one, and this is definitely my if I can only have one and I need to get it back up. Okay, next for a concealer. This has also changed. I picked last time the Maybelline Super Stay Concealer, and I love this. I do love this, but if I could have one, I have a new top of the heap. It is beautiful. It's easy to use, and it is the NARS Mattifying in the Pot. I have had this off and on for at least 2 years since I got my channel. This is a cream, but it is a stiff cream. It's not overly creamy. I just dab, and I still get a lot. But when I'm in a hurry, like this morning, I was in a hurry because I had 1 hour, only had an hour, to get ready. I was taking my son to the dentist. So I used what's fast. It was the NARS Mattifying with this MAC 260S, and I did my Age Rewind Brightener. That's in the brightener. Then get this. This is what I've been using every day, y'all. It's so fast. Just dab this in here and then just tap it on. Done. I don't need to layer. This is my only layer. This and my color corrector. One layer. And it's so easy, y'all. It's so easy. And I have a drawer full of concealers that are great. That is the one that really stands out. It's easy. It's a very full cover. It's just perfect. If I was going to pick a liquid though, when I'm touching up during the day, I've been using that for touch-ups. That's my first, that's my touch-up. That's really all I've been using for weeks now. But when I'm touching up, my favorite if I'm not using that, is the Tarte Shape Tape. So this is still, these would be my top two right now. The NARS, if I can only have one, this is the one I'm keeping. Let's do foundation next. Okay, last time I picked the Tarte Amazonian for a matte, and I picked the NARS for a skin finish. This time I'm going to pick just one, and it's the one that is my most recent favorite. I can't see it going anywhere, and I'll tell you why. Because it has an SPF of 45. We're talking about the Estee Lauder Hydro Repair, Hydro Rescue. Futurist Hydro Rescue. It has an SPF of a 45. It's easy. It's fast. It's a great cover. Now, my favorite way to wear this is with my gripping primer. With my gripping primer, it stays all day long. It's a good full cover. I'll either do my gripping primer, or after my primer, I'll do a thin layer of powder and put this on. That makes it a as full of a cover as anything I have. Without that, it's a medium buildable, which is what I did today. I did it just normal. In fact, I didn't even use a primer today because I was in a hurry. I put on my SPF and I put on this. And this is what I got. This is 4 full pumps. I built it up. It's not too dewy. It's not too matte. It is a skin finish, and it is beautiful. I will tell you a couple other runners up that it's hurting me. The Flower Light Illusion. It's so beautiful. It's a good full cover, a velvety finish, and dewy. But you know, sometimes I don't want to be this dewy. So, you know, I have my Hydro Rescue for those days. My Dior Skin Glow. If I was going to put another one in this video today, it would have been this one. It was almost this one. Because this gives me kind of a similar effect to the Estee Lauder. It's not too dewy. It's not matte at all. It's called Glow. It is a beautiful cover. So these are pretty much tied, but this has an SPF in it, and I live in the desert. But these are neck and neck. I love it. And then the Givenchy Tint Couture Everwear. And this is a satin finish. Not too dewy, not too matte. I love that. Just right in the middle. They're so easy to work with. I don't have to over powder. I'm not going to get shiny during the day. But this is a satin finish. I would say is leaning more to the matte side. My forehead never gets shiny when I wear this. It is beautiful. Okay, next, a setting powder. Last time it was the Huda Sugar Cookie. It is still the Huda Sugar Cookie. This just gives my under eyes a little bit of extra help, a little bit of extra cover. I love this so much. Now, most people use the Pound Cake, and I might try that for a setting powder all over my face, but under my eyes, I like a little brightening. You know, it's not too white, but I love it. For my face, that has changed. Last time I just picked this. I was going to use this all over my face, and I could. I brighten shadows with this. I go up on my forehead with this. But for all over my face, I have fallen in love with the Laura Mercier Translucent because this is a little bit of an extra cover. Just a tiny bit. It's a little bit heavier. So if you don't want heavy, I mean, it's not that heavy, but it's a little bit of an extra cover, which I love with my Estee Lauder. Because this is medium to full, and this just takes it right up there to all the way full. But again, it's not heavy, it's not cakey, but it is just a little bit of an extra cover. Okay, then for a finishing powder, I'm going to have to say my very, very top is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish. It just is. I would say this might cover a little bit. It just is blurring. It's beautiful. It runs out really fast. But I just can't help it. I love it. It's a very finely milled. Impressed. Let's put just a little bit on. Ugh. I just don't know that anything beats this. But I do have some others neck and neck with that. And the first one is the one that's supposed to be a dupe for that. And it's the Flower. And I just can't decide if it's a dupe for this. So I keep them both. I mean, you can see I use this. This gets used about out of it, and I'll replace it. I love it. I also love my It by Pores. I love this. So, you know, those are very, very close. I love my Hourglass Veil. Love. And I will replace all of those. But if I'm only having one, it's going to be the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, next, let's move on to bronzer contour. I'm going to start with contour because I have a definite head and shoulders above everything when I'm actually going to contour, and I have been lately, and I'll tell you why. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar because that's actually a cool, oh, wrong side, that's a cool contour, and I use it. And I love it because it's so natural but buildable. Hold on. I get this M504, and I go around in this, and then I'm tapping it off. And right here, I learned this from Hindash, right here, to make my nose look like it's turned up, right here. And then sometimes I go, look at that. It just makes my nose look a little more turned up. It makes my nose look turned up. So I do that. Hold on. Let me powder a little. And then another place I contour is right here on the inner eyebrow and nose. And that is the prettiest look. I saw that done on Jackie Ina's channel. And then I come down my nose and I do my nose. And I'm loving doing that. So the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar, it's in my desk right in front of me. I use it daily and I love it. Okay, next for bronzers, that was rough, and I will tell you I almost just did not pick one because there's really not that much difference in bronzers. Yes, you can, be smooth and blendable and different tones, but out of 50 bronzers, I'm really usually not going to be able to tell one bronzer that stands out over all of them, if that makes sense. I will tell you my standouts that are at the very, very, very top, and that is the Guerlains. These Guerlains that are like, they're terracottas, but they're like blush bronzers. And these probably would be my, if I could only have one. If I had to throw everything else away, this probably would be what I would save. This is the Deep Golden. And in the pan, they look okay, but are they magical? Yes, they are. Once you get them on your face, especially this one, every time I wear it, I'll just stop. I remember one time in particular, I was at a concert. It was one of the first times I'd ever worn this, and I was in the restroom, and I walked by the mirror, and those lights are so harsh, like just fluorescent lights everywhere, and this stopped me. I was like, what do I have on? That is beautiful. It has just does it have a sheen? I don't know if it has a sheen or not. If it does, it's not, yeah, a little bit maybe. But like a skin finish. And these just make you glow in the most beautiful, sun-kissed way, and I just love them. Okay, next for blushes. I'm going to do cream blushes and powder blushes because they're two separate entities. I always use a cream blush now, and my favorite that I've gotten this entire year and overall has got to be these matte glow plays, and I'm just going to put them in as a brand because we're all different colors. So whatever color you like, these are my favorite because they go on subtle, but you build them. And what I always put this on with is this Airbrush blurring foundation brush, and I have two of these. I love it so much, and it's just stiff, and I don't know, I usually bounce it on, and then sometimes I go in circular, but usually I just bounce. Usually I'm bouncing. This today is Heat Index, but I love a bunch of them. I picked this one up a lot though. It's like a red pink. Yeah, it's like a red with some pink in it. Now these are like putty. You can push on them, and if you want to buy one of these, you better buy them fast. I've been finding them on sale, so they may be going out of, they may have been limited edition. So I would try to find some of these if you want them. But they're like putty, and then they pick up that product. This is the Heat Index. I also love it in Groovy, which is like a hot peach color. And then No Shame. No Shame is that when it's a true, like a berry. And then I have two peachy tones. If I was gonna have a runner-up, it probably would be the Fenty. I love the Fenties too, but those MACs, those are something special. Like, I've never tried anything like those. And I also do like the Fenties. Strawberry Drip, Daiquiri Dip. I love them, and I love the Stila. The Gerbera, the Petunia. I think Petunia. I love the Stilas. So I love these two, but these MACs. Okay, and then for powder blushes, I'm going to do a brand again. If I am, because we're all different colors, and I love any color that I pick up in my hourglasses. And these are just perfect over my cream blushes, and it makes them last all day. And I would show you colors, but I love them all. And I don't really even pay attention to what color I'm picking up because they're so light. They just kind of blend with whatever I've got on. They're just beautiful and soft, and they never look too harsh on my face, never. And another thing I like about these before you buy them, and this makes it so much easier than buying a $45 blush or whatever that is, they have them in the minis. At the minis, you're spending in the 20s, and you're getting to try it, and these would last forever. The L'Oreal Rosy Outlook was what I picked last time, and this was, but when I'm not using a cream blush, it probably would still be mine, but I still like those hourglasses on their own. I like the hourglasses on their own too, I need to say that, but I love this Rosy Outlook still. It is the perfect snow white pink without looking too red, a berry without darkening. Look at that. I'm just glad I don't really have to throw one away. I'm glad I don't just get to keep one because I would cry if I ever had to throw that away. Okay, last time for highlighters, I picked the Tom Ford Mood Light, and it is beautiful, and I still love it, and I would still put it towards the top. I like this because it has two, but mostly I use this one, and a lot of times I'll, run them together and darken this one a little bit, but this one down here is the one I really, and that's it. It is a very skin-like highlighter. It is beautiful, and it would still be at the top. But the one that I put at the very top this time, my Filmstar. A lot of days when I am doing my contour, I'll just put this highlighter on, and I'm going to put a little bit of it on because if you want that contour, let me show you what you would be getting with that highlighter. And I'm going to put this on with my Anastasia A23. And, just running around in there. This is a nice, you can see it, but it's not overly blinding. And I should put it right here. And I will tell you, this is probably my favorite daily highlighter. So this is probably my top. Yeah. If I could only have one, this is the one I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick this. Because I love it every time I wear it, every time. That is beautiful, beautiful. This palette was so worth it. I think that is worth the hype. I will tell you a couple other runners up. This Milani Dolce Perla is beautiful. And I would say this is probably most comparable to what I just did. Oh, that's so pretty. And then this Essence Pure Nude, I'll never let this go, y'all. I will beat this dead horse until I don't know when. I'll probably never stop. The Essence Pure Nude is, it's just beautiful. It is a kind of a lip from within glow. Oh, that's pretty. I'm cheating all over the place, picking more than one, but my top would be the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, for eyeshadows. Last time I picked the Modern Renaissance and the Viseart Neutral Milieu. Oh, and I love that. I haven't worn that in a while. So today, what I picked was the Charlotte, hold on, let me get them. Okay, so this was hard, but for my very, very top, it's going to be the Violet Voss HG Holy Grail, Holy Grail palette. It's going to be the Holy Grail palette because this is so easy, y'all. This is such an easy palette to use. I can get cools, I can get warms. I've got a very light lid shade, or for all over to prime. And that one's matte. This one's a shimmer if I want to, get a little fancy. Then I've got that shimmer. I can go really warm. I can go with a purple look. I can get a kind of a red look with this wine down here. This is everything. And I have never, not once, had a bad look with this, ever. It is just seamless, and this will make me buy more Violet Voss. Okay, I'm really trying not to overthink this because I literally will start sweating. And like, is that really my favorite? Really take it seriously. So I'm kind of trying to keep it breezy. for my nervous system. Okay, next for an upper liner, an upper liquid liner. I have a definite favorite that I had used up, used something else, and came back to it. It has made that much of an impression. And it's this e.l.f. Intense Ink Eyeliner. Oh, hold on, let me take off the lid. That. And it looks fat, but that point, there's something about this that is perfect. I have it on today. It's stiff enough that I have good control. I can kind of press and still get a thin line. And this just works as good as anything I have. I have tried a Lancome. I have tried the Stila Stay All Day. I like this as much as anything else I have tried. Okay, for lips. Last time I picked the Lancome Ideal for a liner. This would be up there for me. I didn't think about it because I hadn't been using it. So I had picked another one, but this would pretty much be tied with it. And that is one of the Charlotte Tilbury's. There's something about these, y'all. These just, you know, any shade, any tone of nude that you need, they've got it. This one's Pillow Talk Medium 2. And I love that. It's just, you know, a real good nude. And I can use that with cools and warms. I also love Hot Gossip. Yeah, Hot Gossip. And it's that one. That one. I think that one's a little warmer, but I honestly just pick these up and I'll use them with cools or warms or whatever. An honorable mention though, from the drugstore, the Milani's. This is so good. It is soft enough that you don't have to struggle with it. I like this better than MAC. These are just beautiful. And this one is in nude. I like nude, spice, and there's one other one. I'll put it right here. But these should have been my pick because I think these are as good as the Pillow Talks. For some reason, I want to pick the Pillow Talk up more. Maybe because it's gold. Maybe just because it's shining at me. But the Milani's, I would say, are just as good. For a lipstick, I picked the MAC Bosom Friend. Yes, I still would just pick the MAC Bosom Friend because when I'm in a hurry, this never lets me down. And it is a very light pink for when I use dark liners, and this lightens them up. Now, sometimes I can go too dead with this, but if I have good, a good rich liner on, this is going to be my pick. I also would give honorable mention to Kim KW. I pick this up all the time. And it's that. It's like the peach version of my Bosom Friend. It's that. I always get a good look with that. All right, and those are my, if I could only take one, my top Holy Grails updated. Y'all definitely, down below, let us know some things that y'all are loving, some of your top Holy Grail picks. And that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.